There is a danger we rarely name. It is not only in how we relate to one another, but in how we relate to the earth itself. We pretend. We pretend we know. We pretend we are in control. We pretend we understand systems far older than us. And in that pretense, we abandon humility. We speak of sovereignty, personal, national, human. But true sovereignty begins with right relationship. And right relationship cannot be built on pretense. When we posture as masters instead of participants, when we act as though the earth is something to manage rather than listen to, we set ourselves above what actually sustains us. That is not elevation. That is disconnection. Pretense interferes with trajectory. It does not stop movement. It bends it. Individually, it bends our path away from truth. When we ignore intuition, when we ignore gut knowing, and when we ignore the quiet signals of the body. Collectively, it bends the path of communities. It bends that path when visible infrastructure is prioritized, while human, mental, and social health are ignored. Ecologically, it bends the future of the planet itself. When we remove more than we restore and rename the damage stewardship. Because when we pretend to know how to interface with the earth, we stop asking, we stop observing, we stop giving thanks. We forget the tides still rise and fall without our consent. The sun, moon, and stars keep their order without our approval. Life continues through forces far beyond our management. We forget how easily life can be withdrawn. We forget how quickly conditions can change. We forget how little force is required to remove us from the field entirely. And yet, we posture as though we are in command. Without gratitude, relationship collapses into extraction. Children learn from what we demonstrate. Communities follow what leaders model. Nations move in the direction of the stances they adopt. When image replaces humility, trajectories are altered through misalignment. What is real is always felt. But many are required to pretend in order to survive within systems that reward compliance, punish honesty, and prioritize profit over life. That kind of pretense does not stay abstract. It enters the body. Muscles hold it. Breath shortens around it. Cells register the contradiction between what is lived and what is allowed to be spoken. Over time, that contradiction becomes illness, not as punishment, but as consequence. Because sustained misalignment is not neutral, and pretense, left unexamined, becomes the root of both personal illness and collective decline. Through these eyes, it becomes clear. The earth does not respond to arrogance. It responds to accuracy. It does not require dominance. It requires attunement. And attunement begins with the simplest posture of all. Gratitude for where we are, respect for what we do not yet understand, and honesty about our place within the whole. Pretense harms the self. It harms those who look to us. And when it enters leadership, it can harm the earth itself. So this is not a call to perfection. It is a call to humility. Because only what is real can be tended. Only what is honored can be sustained. And only truth can keep the path clear. For us and for the generations that follow.